What time is it, boys and girls? It's time for the Children's Corner. And Mr. Elephant says hello to all the little kitties there. And so does Harrigan, our little horse over here, Mr. Frog, Mr. Turtle, Mr. Owl, Mrs. Snail, Mr. Rabbit, and then we got Uncle Joe Potts-a-Vacuum over there. I got to move the spray bottle so you can see Uncle Joe Potts-a-Vacuum over there. He says hello to all the kids, and that's his friend, Mr. Squirrel. There's Mrs. Elephant, Hellcha, Stashu, and Pinkie Pie with a little bumblebee in her hair. She likes that. So, what are we going to do today? But first we got to say, Mr. Weather Tree wants to say hello to you. And we forgot to show you Farmer Frog and Darlene the Snail all say hello. And Mr. Eraser, he's got his eyes watching everybody. So Mr. Weather Tree says today is October 22nd of 2025. It's Wednesday. It's 46 degrees Fahrenheit or 8 degrees Celsius. And Mr. Weather Tree says, welcome to the Children's Corner. And today we're going to be planting honey locust seeds. And that's a good thing for you to do because I'm going to show you what the pods look like. And here's a little bit of a picture. This is a honey locust, and you can see the leaves. This is the leaves of a honey locust. So when you see that into the tree, you can see it. But right now, it's all the leaves are starting to fall. I was going to show you some of mine that I potted, but they were all falling off. And the gnomes have their light out in the pumpkin house. Because it's dark out there. It's a cloudy day, a cold, windy, brisk day, right, Mr. Weather Tree? Yep. That's the way it is. So I'm going to show you what a honey locust tree seed looks like. And we got our wagon full of pumpkins over here. I don't know if you can see that. There's our pumpkin wagon. He's got a load of pumpkins to deliver. We got our pumpkin stand over there. We got our other little pumpkin wagon being delivering stuff. So here is our honey locust seeds. And you can see they look very unusual. Very unusual. I'm going to get my bag out of the way. And this is how they look when they fall off the tree. And inside, can you hear them? Those are the seeds in there. And what Jaja did on some of the seeds, he soaked them for 48 hours or 2 days to see if they're going to, if this helps in the germination process. Now you can get anything to put the seeds in, children, and get mom and dad to watch too, because this is like an old, I got an organic seedless tray for grapes, and it has holes in there already. So you got drainage holes in here already, because I use that to circulate the air so the grapes don't get rotten or anything. So how do you find the seeds in here? Ah, that's a good question. I broke one of these pods in half, because this is the way it looked. So I broke it in half. And then, let me get this little glass here so you can see what's going on. Let me get this out of here. And all I'm going to do is, it's just a little plastic container. So Mr. Elephant's going to put in some water. And why are we doing this? Because if the seeds are good, they'll sink to the bottom. But if they're no good, they're going to float. So we're going to break these open just to see what we got here. And here's a nice big seed in here. See that? There's a seed. Put it in. And it goes right into the water. See that? It dropped right into the water. That's good. Let's take another one out. Just got to rip them open. See the cavity in there? So that means the seed is inside. See it? So just break it open. Take the seed, drop it in the water. That's another good one. As long as they sink to the bottom, you know, the seeds are good. So we're just going to peel it just like you're peeling, I don't know if your parents ever gave you some beans to peel for supper. But it's just like that. Just get the bean out of the shell. And this one has a double in there. A double, look at that. See that? So we're going to put that, and they both sink to the bottom. We're going to take this one. So when you do it on addition, you can see how that one fell out. That goes sinking to the bottom. And in that shell, look at this. There's like 3 in that one big pod. Right in that one spot there. So isn't that's something. And you can see the cavity. It's all empty now. There's the other ones, and we'll put them in there. So now what's Jaja going to do? Jaja means grandpa in Polish. I mean in English. Forgive me, children. But let's take the seed pods out of the way. We'll put them here. Now you can find a little dish like this, and all I did was put some rocks in there. Well, I got number 2 cherry red chicken grit, but you don't need that. Just put some rocks, and Jaja drills some drainage holes in there so your parents can do that for you. And then we're going to take some soil. Get any type of soil you want to get. Anything your little old heart desires. Whatever, if it's cactus mix is good. Or if you got a nice loose draining soil mix. Because these are going to go outside for the winter. Now, if you don't have a spot for them outside in the wintertime, you can put them by in a cold porch or in a cold window. By a cold window where the heater ain't on them. Okay, so Josh is going to put it here. Mr. Clock says hello to all the kitties out there. And Mr. Clock says it's 7 a.m. in the morning. I should have said 6:50 a.m. I think Jaja was goofed up there for a while. But he's tolling out the chimes of 7 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday. So let's get continuing here. I put a rock in here so we can see how what would this tree do if it grew on a rock with soil. Would the roots grow around? But we'll see what seeds grow first. So we'll just cover it up, and that rock's going to hold a pot in place when I stick it outside. So all we're going to do is pat it down. Now you're going to know that there's some pockets here, and whatever seeds fall on here, we'll see if they root. So what's Jaja going to do? He's going to do something very, very carefully. He's going to try to take the seeds out. I hope we can do it this way, because we're going to have to water this anyway. Just tap the seeds out. Now you can let them soak too overnight if you want to try it, Mom and Dad, for the kids. So we can cover that rock a little bit. So we're just going to cover that up. And then we're going to take the seeds. We'll put a big one here. And just let the kids spread them out all over the place. Now you can do it dry. But what Jaja puts them in the water to make sure they're alive. So the kids get to see if the tree seeds are really alive. So we got one up here. Well, we got 2 up here. 1 here. 1 here. Put 3 there. 1 on the corner here. 1 there. And just let the kids put it all over wherever they want to put it. And then we'll take some more soil, because Jaja's using Ted's cactus mix, but remember, any cactus mix will do. A nice fast draining cactus mix for the seeds. Now you can also get a starting mix. That would work too. Like for Mickey-Lite or whatever, you can try whatever you want. And then Jaja's going to take some sand and put it on the top. So it looks like it's decorated a little bit, and we'll know that the honey locust seeds are in there. And then Jaja's going to make a label for it later. And you can make a nice label with your mom and dad. or your grandmas and the grandpas, or your aunts and uncles, whoever's going to do the help you look for the seeds, and take a nice walk, but bundle up nice, because right now in the Windy City, it's a nice chilly wind. There we go, something like that. That was just coarse sand, or any sand you have, anything you want to put on the top. Let the kids do it. And then we're going to take Mr. Spray Bottle over here and just wet the sand. Just like that. And we'll get Mr. Elephant. And we'll just water it in. And see how nice the water drains out. So, you know, in the wintertime, it's not going to get soggy and wet. That's why I use a fast-draining cactus mix like Ted's mix. So let's put this on the side. We'll put that in the cup. And then, see, on this container, leave the top on there because it'll help keep the sun from beating down and getting it hot. And it's all ventilated here. So you got a nice little greenhouse for yourself, Mom and Dad, for the children. And then we're going to take our paper towel, and we're just going to put it in the bottom here. Just something like that. And then we're going to take Mr. Spray Bottle and wet it down. Now what Judge is doing also is because the slots, I don't know if you can see them, they're a little big. You can see how big they are. Let's just, if I can stick my finger there. Right there. They're covered. But right there you can see how my finger's sticking out. So then on that side, we'll just take another piece of paper towel. And the reason why I'm covering them, it's still going to drain. But Jaja has to do that to keep the soil from falling out. So what he's going to do for the bottom for drainage, we're going to take some coarse sand and put it on there. And that'll help hold the tray from blowing around. I'm going to put it in the microclimate. And this way here, if you're in the house and you got it on a cold porch even, or in a garage, and make sure you don't let it dry out completely. Give it some water once in a while if it's in the garage. And then we're going to put some Ted's mix in. Let me get my little container. And Mom and Dad, you can get these at Walmart for the kids. I think, well, back then it was like $1. So I don't know, it might be up to $1.50 now. But it's still a good buy. Put some soil in there. Just like that. We get Mr. Spoon. Mr. Spoon says hello to all the little kitties out there. And so does Pinkie Pie, she's saying. She can't wait to help her dad do the gardening. Same thing with all the children there. So now, Jaja found a rock. And that'll hold it down. So I'm just going to put it in the corner here. And we'll put a couple of seeds around it. And then I got a bigger container. You can get this also at Walmart. They're cheap. Or the Dollar Tree, wherever you want to look for them. But they're cheap. And so all I'm going to do is put some in. And the reason why I'm putting it on a rock is we'll see if a seed falls on a rock, how will it grow? How will it grow? See, so let the kids push the soil into the cavity of the rock. Just let them use their fingers, or you can give them a chopstick. to get it all in there. Just let them poke the holes in there. Let them have fun. It's only soil. It's a good clean mix. It's not all muddy and murky and anything like that there. I'm just going to fill it up. Maybe about that high. And Mr. Elephant's going to give it a good little watering here. Because by doing this, we'll get the soil to sink down a little more. We'll just expose the rock. And then, if you don't want the kids to get dirty, just give them a styrofoam cup or any type of a cup just to push the soil down. And on the other parts, you can get a spoon like Mr. Spoon, and that'll help you do that too. And then we take the seeds, and Mom and Dad, you can do this and hold it in your hand, let it dribble through your fingers like that. Get all the seeds out. And we'll plant. Let the kids plant it. Let them put them wherever they want to put it. We're just going to put a couple of here. And one there. Just lay them flat. Lay them flat. That's all you got to do. They will come up. Usually it's the pointed down where they fall out, but when they fall out of the pod, they just lay flat. So whatever comes through the ground and grows, grows. Just like that. Any place you want. Just space them out kind of evenly. And then, get an old sock, kids, if you got. Ask Mom and Dad first. If you got an old sock that's torn and ripped, to wipe your hands. And no, Mom and Dad, I'm not wiping it in my pants because I don't want to give the kids a bad example. And then all you do is cover the seeds. Cover the seeds. And then we let the winter weather take off and do its job, getting the seeds ready to wake up from a long winter's nap. Now, seeds that drop their trees that drop their seeds in, like now in the fall, they need the cold weather for them to grow. Those that drop their seeds early in the spring, you can grow them right away. It's another good way for the kids to start seeds. And then we're just going to give it a little watering. Like that. And you can see there's a lot of air holes here. A lot of air holes. And right where this air hole is over here. Oh no, there's nothing here. It's just on the corner, so that's good. See, that's how we're going to close it. But before Jaja does anything else, we're going to put a little bit of sand on there. And then later on, I'll make a little marker for it. You can make a marker with the children, Mom and Dad, and get some stickers and put it on the marker when you planted the seeds. And all I'm going to do is put a little sand on the top. And we'll go from there. And then in the spring, you have to watch to see if the little ones are coming up. You can always take a toothpick or something and keep it pried open like that in the spring, and then close it at night if there's nothing growing. But right now, Jaja's just going to close it like this, and then we'll put a little tag on here, and we'll go from there. And we'll put the date on when we planted the seeds, and then you can see in the spring if they come up. So this is a good little thing for Mom and Dad and Grandma and Grandpa and aunts and uncles. And you can see it's nice and heavy right now. And we're going to put this outside, back in the microclimate, where it just gets like dappled sun. And then in winter months like that's coming up, it's going to be real low light for them. So, but it's just something different for the kids to do. So, kiddies, remember what Mr. Elephant says. He says, When you're in a cold climate like this, have something nice and warm to drink, like a hot chocolate or something warm. Hot soup, cup of hot soup is always good too. And that way there, it takes the chill out of the bone, right, Mr. Elephant? That's right, Mr. Elephant says, right it is. So you take care, everybody. Have a good day. Children, be nice to your parents. Because sometimes when they work, they have a hard day. And they come home tired and grumpy sometimes. But let them rest. Bring Dad his slippers or Ma her slippers. Whoever's coming home late and whoever's home that just got home from work, and bring them their slippers to let them sit down and relax. And then after an hour, bring them something to have a good meal with them, have a good supper together, and be kind to your parents, because, you know, one day you're going to be a parent too. So, you know, parents having a hard day. Sometimes Grandma and Grandpa have a hard day, or your aunts and uncles, but when you go over and visit them, come over there with a nice smile. So you take care, everybody. Children, have a good day. And from all of us at the Children's Corner, have a nice, relaxing day.